guys finished the season at 27-6. Probably that 6 is probably one of the higher numbers of losses that a team had in the Sweet 16 that year. So, Chester, you mentioned the first game of the season, Drakesboro, started off with a loss.
Yeah.
So, what's up with that, guys? We're starting the season off with a loss here now.
Had too many football players.
Three of us come off. I think we played on Friday night. Played them. Was it Saturday or the next Tuesday or something?
It was like Tuesday, like 3 days.
There is a big difference between basketball shape and football shape.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between how you handle a football and how you handle a basketball. And
I took off with the basketball.
Plus, that Jernigan kid,
he was awesome.
he couldn't miss. He could have threw it in from outside and it would have went in.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many points he had, but he was unstoppable.
Well, after the first quarter, I was dead. I couldn't go down the floor.
Couldn't run up and down, and you could. I mean, you just didn't have the feel for it.
You didn't have the stamina. It's a lot different. I mean, I was amazed that I couldn't get them down the floor.
Y'all remember we went on scrimmage to Washington County up there. No, LaRue County. We went to LaRue County, and we played LaRue County in a scrimmage game just like 2 days after y'all hung up y'all's pads and stuff. And then we had a game on the road at Drakesboro, which Drakesboro, where is that in Muhlenberg County?
Yeah.
That's way down there. I mean, we had a really tough schedule that year. Our losses, we lost that first game, and then we lost 4 more times in February. Every Friday night or Thursday night. We lost to Owensboro, we lost to Butler County,
Warren East.
and we lost to Franklin Simpson, we lost to Warren East. And then that was the end of the losing until the finals of the district.
Yeah.
But it's incredible that 50 years later, you guys are announcing who those teams were that beat you.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I don't remember.
Sometimes you think more about the losses than you do the wins. You know, it's
I hate losing.
Yeah.
I hate losing, and because some of these guys that beat us, I see them pretty often, and they remind me of what kind of games they had against us. You know, Glasgow. We never played Glasgow. Never had them on the schedule before. We went to their place and played the district tournament. Butler County it was the hottest gym we ever played in.
Yeah.
Oh, they had the heat turned up for that one. Now I'm telling you.
And Owensboro just came in here, and they barely beat us though.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had Darrell Griffin's cousin, Monroe. Y'all remember him? About 6'3", still jump out of the gym.
Then they had the Thurston, JoJo Thurston.
JoJo Thurston had
This Cost slouches. They were some good teams that we got beat by, but at the end of the season, none of them could beat us. So we'd play them again. No, we just got our stuff together and been playing together long enough. We knew what one person's going to do before they did. You know.
But you guys, you're looking at the schedule here, and is there any team that you just show up and you know you're going to win, or these are pretty tough?
We didn't care.
I don't think we ever looked at it.
No, we didn't look at it that way. We just thought. Me personally, every who that I was going to go up against, he was not going to get what he's supposed to get. He was going to get what I wanted him to have, and that was going to be an L and getting up out of here.
Yeah.
And we all thought that. Yeah, we just thought about doing it together and winning.
And we did the right thing too. Wasn't out running around at night trying to, everybody got to rest. I remember after we won, we played during the daytime at the state tournament. And after that game was over, I was going to say, let's get back to the motel room so we can get some sleep. We got to play the first game tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that was the first game in the morning at 12 o'clock.
I know if we were ever behind or if it was close, it was getting late, Phil had a saying every time, we got to go. We got to go. And he was our man, that.
Aaron, you said something off camera just a little bit ago about that you guys never really got in any trouble, or there was nothing going on outside that would interfere with what's going on the court. Negative.
At that time in our lives, things were a lot easier than they are now. Peer pressure, I don't remember if we had it.
No.
Okay, and I wasn't worried about what somebody else had or what they were going to get that I didn't have, or vice versa. And it was just it was a great time to be alive. Great time.
And good music.
Good music, really good music.
And here's one thing I really always believed about this group, that if you called me and you needed me, I would show up.
Yeah.
No matter what. Yeah. And I believe that of every one of these guys.
I do
right
too.
there. I mean, no matter what, we'd show up. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the way we were raised. I mean, I've never seen another group like this. We've seen the other way, and we just was totally against that. His brother was really good off that wing, and I seen him get froze out a lot of games. We wasn't going to freeze anybody out. And I tell you one thing we did too. If we seen a weakness on the other team and we had a guy that could take advantage of that, it was more fun than doing it yourself. It was
That
fun.
is so true.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you're playing a pretty tough schedule from top to bottom. None of these teams are really slouchers, okay? But I'm looking here at this at the teams that you guys played that year. Second game of the season, it's Auburn. And was there something about that gym?
No.
Oh, it's so tiny.
So what? Yeah, so,
You couldn't.
About 12 inches
You
outside
couldn't
of the
stand.
line to the wall.
Yeah. So the ref told us before the game you could just put
Put
one
your foot against
foot
the wall,
and do it.
do what you want.
Yeah, it was tiny, and feel like they killed one of their guys accidentally.
We went to Auburn one night and they had that little gym, and there was not enough room there was not enough room out of bounds to get your foot out of bounds. So Bo told them to turn their foot sideways and put the other foot on the wall.
Yeah, I don't know. That game, we just didn't even play.
They had a pretty good team too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny Pike and his brother, and then they had a dude named Gray, was a guard, and they
Did Kenny Button play that year?
Kenny Button was
Yes.
there. He was
I
young.
remember him.
Yeah.
He was great. He's a big old boy.
Yeah.
He could really play.
That was one of the first games of the year, wasn't
That
it?
was second game of the year.
Yeah, so
Second
got
game.
out of football, and I was out of shape, and Aaron Pearl was too. There's a big difference between football shape and basketball shape.
That was the first game
I
I
was still
started.
blowing air. We
Drake-
played 2 games that week.
Yeah, Drakesboro was like 3 bleachers on one side. We got down there with this is a small gym, but them boys could play.
Yeah.
That was their 4th game or
That
5th.
little Jernigan boy was tough. He was really tough.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened
Rhodes
to him.
was the other guard. He was like a freshman. He was like Kevin, though. His kind of ball.
Conditioning is a big factor too.
Yeah.
Was I can remember that game, and the first quarter, I was done gone. You know, we played the game before that, right? A few days, and by the time and first quarter was over in that game, I was having trouble getting them down the floor because we was running wide open.
was there a particular opponent that season that you guys sticks out in your mind that's like, boy, those guys were the real deal?
I think we played the 3rd game, played North Hardin here. They were a really good team.
Yeah.
Really good, a big power in the 5th region.
You guys won that game by 2 points.
Yeah, in overtime, right here. That was our 3rd game that week. That's a lot of games in 1 week. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that they were really mad at Coach Denton because he didn't play certain people, and they were wanting to fix a schedule to where they could get rid of him. And so Bo inherited this really, really tough schedule. But and Coach Denton left, so
Was that the year that Caverna had the real good team?
yeah.
They were undefeated and came over here, right? When we beat them, they lost the first game against us.
All right, we at their place.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
And we beat them here. It was like 27-0
We had them. We had 'em at the end of
at
the
the first quarter.
Yeah.
And 43 to 13 or 14 at halftime.
And they're ranking tops in the state that year. For a
Yeah.
while.
And I think
You know, and I found out later their best player, their coach had got on him like Bo had got on Phil about shooting the ball, and he wouldn't shoot it the whole first half. He'd have a layup. He says, "I just throw it back at." Steve Neal was his name.
I remember. I think that I fouled the guy when they got their first point, and our fans clapped for him. And he just kind of
was
shook his
bad.
head.
It was bad.
They were tough. They had a heck
Yeah,
of a
they
team.
did. Because we ended up winning by I think 20 or something like that. So they really outscored us.
I went to the finals of the region that year.
Yeah, Alan Fleener was on that team.
Well, you won by 23 that game.
Okay,
His
so
big brag is that he scored 20 against us up there, which we beat him by 10. Which we never go to other teams after we beat them, and or we get beat by them and say, well, I scored 35 against y'all, but I got beat.
Yeah.
That's nothing to brag about to beat.
That's right.
Well, that's some people think. Our team just didn't think like that.
No, we did not.
We didn't care who scored. We won. No, one was all agreeing to have been.
Well, talking about good teams that you played that year, Butler County. Butler County had been
Yes.
good
Butler County,
several years.
dirty and rough, and never failed at.
They had a good team.
Jim Bob.
Jim Bob Green.
Jim Bob, he was the only.
Jim Bob, that was what, 6th or 7th year in high school basketball.
That's true.
He's the same age as me, but I think he started playing in like 7th grade.
Yeah, he was varsity
team.
Let me ask you guys this question. You know, only 6 losses during the season, which is great. Obviously, a great season without the title. But when these teams would beat you, was it a combination of a bad game for you guys and a good game for them, or was it one or the other? Did they exploit weaknesses? You know, what were those things that do you think?
I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think they just shot a really great percentage against us. They hardly ever missed shots when they played us. The teams that beat us, they were on fire.
Yeah.
2 or 3 guys would be on. I mean, we defended the same way every night. They just made tough shots.
I think, was it Kevin Bates or something that played at Butler
Bates.
County? He couldn't miss.
Yeah.
And
One of the dirtiest players I ever played.
one of the nastiest, dirtiest players ever.
In the first game or two we lost, I'll just tell you, I wasn't in very good shape.
Yeah.
I mean, coming down,
Because,
it's totally
we-
different. But you get a run for
That's a
10
huge
seconds
factor.
and rest.
We lost to Drexboro, and then we won 11.
Yeah.
And then we lost to Owensboro. I believe.
Yeah,
Here. On a
Here.
Thursday
There's 2 games here, right?
Right.
Morning.
Owensboro had a real athletic team.
Yes,
I mean,
they
they were quick.
They had
They
lost some
jumped.
players, they were still good.
Yeah.
You know, they could really do everything. Seemed like faster than anybody else could. So,
So what are you guys thinking during that winning streak there at the beginning of the season? 10, 11.
They're paying attention to it. We just
wish we had lost that first.
just played. Yeah.
What you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'd come home, Mom say, "Well, how'd it go?" I said, "We won." We won. We won. We won.
So I
I'm
think
going to
He
bed.
was waiting for us in the region, and who was going to play against. So
Yeah.
them teams we were playing before that, didn't really matter. It was the teams we had to play in the region, Bowling Green and the East and Franklin and some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, the teams that Butler County was really good. Franklin was really good, even though we hated them. And,
We beat them here though.
yeah. Of course, we beat Franklin 2 out of 3 times that year, but they were really good.
They matched up about like we did.
Yes.
They were tough.
They had. We were all about the same. Everybody looked the same. Like they had a big guy like Phil. What's his name? Donnie Evans.
Donnie
I
Evans,
played
yeah.
football.
Dave Barrett matched up. He was about
Fish.
6'3".
Yeah.
And then they had
Tommy
John Hall.
Tommy Boyd.
Let's don't give them too much publicity
Joe
here,
Hall.
okay?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding.
But they were just a different type. They were just a
They were the push and shove kind.
Yeah, I
too.
remember coming down and on the floor, and I made some kind of move, and I made a shot, and like here's one of the comments. That was a nice move. Don't do it anymore. I said, I'm at home.
I played football with the Evans, Donnie Evans. Of course, he was All-American at Western, good ball player. But he bring it up every once in a while. Me and him got to be pretty good buddies. When we played him over here, and he come in, they just put him in. He wasn't a basketball player, and he come in just to take
Yeah.
the room, be rough, and he got up me that we're done something to him, turned and looked at him. I said, doing something gonna break your neck. You get on me again, you can mess up. Eyes out. He remembered that in college.
The enforcer.
He said,
Yeah, as you
I
get.
said, I didn't get to play hardly any after we played y'all. Said, after you told me he's going to break my neck out there, I didn't know what to do.
So, all right, on that note right there, did y'all talk a lot on the court? Did y'all?
No.
We did
business to-
a couple of times.
No, yes, we had
He
to.
Phil worked him over. I just walked him into him. Was it SQ that up at Grayson County he was shoving me?
Yeah.
Every time I jumped,
Yeah.
I'd go about 3 feet forward.
Yeah.
And I kept telling Phil, I said, Phil, I can't jump. He's shoving me out of the way. Phil goes, bring him over. And I said, next time down, get ready. So sure enough, I started in, and all of a sudden I ducked down and Phil goes, wham! I mean, that nose was all over his face. Oh, what was his name? Bill, the coach.
Lee.
Aunt Bill.
Billy, boy, he jumped up on those fish. Them two boys just mugged him. They mugged him. Look at his nose. And it bleeding all over. He knocked the crap out of it.
I went with a horse training clinic with Bill Lee in Findlay, Ohio. One time rode up together.
Did he
back,
bring
stayed
it?
in the same room. Yeah, he remembered that. He remembered everything we ever did to him.
Did to them.
Well, I will say this: it stopped the old boy from pushing, because I turned around when he come back in. I said, "Now, you know what happened before, probably gonna happen again if you keep shoving." And he never said nothing, but he didn't push him.
See, Grace County had some great athletes in there.
Yeah.
Their baseball team, like I said, was undefeated. Won the tournament in Louisville, LIT tournament, whatever we call it. And we beat them, first game of the district?
Yep.
Don Lee rode horses with us, too. And he still said, I still remember that game. Y'all beat us up there. They picked to beat tops in the state.
I remember a little golf. You all played guards. If anybody handled the ball, he'd guard you with his chest.
Yeah.
He's always bumping, holding his hands back like he wasn't touching him, but he didn't have to. He was beating you to death with that chest.
He's a judge now.
Just people talk about, you hear people say that during that time that y'all just weren't very athletic. Well, we were a lot more athletic than what they think.
Yeah.
Aaron Chester and I and Kevin, all of us did track also. Did you do track?
I did for a
High jump.
I just done it that 1 year in the discus and the shot. I went to the state and that, and Aaron Chester went in 400 or something
We were on the relays.
at Lexington, and so we we
Well, these
track as
guys
well. Kevin
were
did track too,
athletes
right?
to me. I mean, Aaron was a heck of a baseball player, football player,
Whatever he wanted to
basketball
do.
player. I mean, he could hit anybody. In baseball,
Except him, he hit me.
well, and then,
I think I've still got a blue. I think I've still got a bruise on that back leg.
but I mean, these guys are athletic, man. It's just, because you couldn't dunk back then, so we didn't really get to show off. But
We could dunk it though.
we could,
Got
but
in there and
not.
practice messing around with
Yeah.
it before we come out.
But yeah, to
Mark
think
can get
that
up
these
too.
guys
He
weren't
don't put the
athletic
elbow
is
around.
a mistake.
Yeah.
Like Warren East had been up and down all year, and Clinton Britt had been out hurt, and it was like his first game back, and they were fired up. I mean that might have been the night that they pulled a bus up over the sidewalk and escorted them out the door, because we was having clock troubles, and it got ugly.
Let me give you the backstory on that, Darren. We had gone to the state tournament my sophomore and junior year, thanks to the Brits and the Watts. Had some great young men on there. We only had one guy over 6 foot, I think. My sophomore year, only one guy over 6 foot that started. And we went to the semifinals and got beat by Louisville Male with a young man by the name of Darrell Griffith, and went on to have a great career in the NBA with Utah and so forth. And then our junior year, we went back to the state tournament and got beat. We got a bad draw that year. We had Louisville Central, Flanoil Crook, and Darrell Yarborough, and all those guys beat us. It was the highest scoring game of the state tournament. It was like 96, 97 to 81 was the score. And that was before the three-point shot. So you can imagine what it would be today. So just a little background. So we come back our senior year and we're thinking, hey, we got a chance to three-peat. Well, that season started out and we were 8-1, I think, playing in a Christmas tournament down at Madisonville. And we're playing a team, Union County. Had a guy by the name of Freddie Cowan, played at UK, about 6'7", 6'8". But anyway, we're up 1 or 2 late in the game, call timeout. We run a run-out play. I throw it out of bounds, throw it the length of the floor. Clinton Britt catches it, lays it in. They cut his legs out from under him, falls and breaks his arm in 2 places. Clinton was averaging about 26, 27 a game, 12, 13 rebounds a game, was a top 10 player in the state. I'm not kidding you. Was a top 10 player in the state. Never played again for the rest of the season. Never played again. So we go from 8-1 with Clinton. Without Clinton, we lost 8 straight games going into the Edmonson County game. So now we're just fighting, trying to scratch a win out somewhere. And for some reason that night, just seemed like everybody on our team played a little bit above what we had been playing. Maybe Edmonson took us a little bit for granted, looking at our 8 losses in a row. And it was just one of those nights where things fell in place. And like you said, we led from the get-go. I think we were up 29-20 at the half. They cut it in the fourth quarter down to a 2 at one time. And then we end up winning 69-65. Had no idea at the time, Darren, that was such a big win. They lost 6 games that year. And they lost that one to a team that had lost 8 straight games going into it. So I'm sure that was a little bit of a heartbreaker for them, because we had had 2 really good games the 2 years before that. So I know they were disappointed, but I'd like to trade with them anytime they want to give that. We'll let them have the win that night if we get the state championship trophy. But it was a great ball game, and one I'll take pride in. Since I spent 25 years coaching over there, I still take a little pride in knowing that we were one of the 6 teams that beat them that senior year. But I still have a lot of respect for those guys.
How was it like here in the community, here in Edmonson County during that time with community support?
So we had plenty of sport.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we had a class after that, did we, much?
School
I
was
mean,
out.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I mean,
It wasn't many,
Something was there every
especially
day.
if somebody brings something up about one of the games, and that was it. We just sat
Well,
and
they
talked
were
about it.
newspapers and people coming
Yeah.
and getting articles, and seemed like every week there'd be somebody wanting to call the Career Journal or somebody coming in wanting to do stories.
So we went to every Rotary Club. And
Yeah, well, I got more meals out of that I didn't know.
How long did the free meals last?
It might have lasted forever, but they started playing baseball and stuff. And I started running track.
Meals, I played a little harder out there. It feel like to get all that stuff.
Yeah,
Free haircuts and stuff like
Well,
that.
you know, like I said, with the
No, I didn't get no. You can eat haircuts out of it. I didn't.
My mom cut mine anyhow, just buried it off.
I know we'd be having class or whatever after we won, and we had a teacher, Mr. Cook,
Elmer Cook.
and he'd go up there and get on there. Sometime he'd just get out in the hall, but he'd just say 1, 2, 3 Wildcats. That's
Yeah.
what he'd do. Well, sometime he'd do it on over the microphone and
Loudspeaker.
Johnny Pete's. But listen, when he'd start saying 1, 2, 3, you could go to the hall if you want to, and there's a lot of people would run to the hall before you got to say Wildcats and holler Wildcat.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah, that was during the the tournament thing. Yeah, he was.
it was just
It was
There were
crazy.
teachers after we come back that you thought they'd never watched basketball and wasn't interested in none at all. You know, like Mr. Cook probably wasn't either.
No.
But after we come back, they was all fired up over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before, some of them.
Well, I think Mr. Cook is always that way. I remember we was in that advanced biology class, and I bombed a test, and it was the day after we'd had a big game. And he come back and handed it to me and said, "I'm not going to count that one." He said, "I know you was out late. You're just too tired. Don't worry about it." Huh? I said, "You want me to take it again?"
And he was a strict teacher too.
He was strict. That's it.
And you know, Mr. Cook was one of the most dedicated teachers that ever was. And here he'd come and he'd look over at me and I'd nod to him and he'd get a hold of that mic. And it didn't matter whether some of the other teachers liked it or not. Elmer Cook was going to holler 1, 2, 3 Wildcats. And of course, that's all the kids needed. When they heard that one, they were ready to go with the other. And we made that house sing. I mean, we made it sing.
Miss Page, yeah, I never will forget. Everybody thought they hated Miss Page.
Yeah.
My dad told me, he said, "You go in there with your shirt tail tucked in and you pay attention and you'll be fine."
Yep.
And sure enough, that was what it took.
Mr. Cook taught biology, him in Luttrell, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Luttrell, I love Luttrell's biology class because we was hunting and fishing every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I thought, I'm going to get me a degree in biology at college. You know, I had his class, and I thought, this is going to be good. They talk about hunting, do fishing all the time. I got in college, and I went in a couple of biology classes. I said, where in the heck did the hunting and fishing come? Compounds and molecules and all that stuff. What's going on here?
That is Phil. That is Phil from 50 years ago.
Inspired by major.
Let me ask you about this particular teacher. Very special to most everybody that ever went through Edmonson County High School. Dale Doc Gray.
Doc Gray.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, obviously he's known for many, many things, many, many accolades and so much respect. But the most famous piece of artwork that there is in Edmonson County, trophy and the program and the
Jersey.
that it's called Cinderella Team.
Yep.
And I'm sure we've all got a copy of it. I got a copy, framed up and hanging in my office. What was it like having a guy like Dale Gray close to you guys?
I never had him as a teacher, but I respected him as I did. I was taught to respect teachers, by the way. But he was just a gentleman and just.
It's always a positive fella. He always, if he didn't have something good to say to you, he wouldn't say nothing. So
The football program probably would have never been here, or at least at that time, without Doc Gray.
Right.
He was the instrumental in that. Also, the golf teams. Yeah. I mean,
A mentor. Of course, he was my golf coach. A father figure. And Doc would fuss at you if he had to. Don't get me wrong. He'd pat you on your back a lot, but now he would sit there and get on to you, but then tell you why. The best story I told this at the funeral, at his funeral a couple of weeks ago. Playing golf, I'd never shot in the 30s for 9 holes. And I was probably 7th grade. And coming up old number 9 at Park Mammoth, I was playing me and Doc Gray. I forgot who else would play. It's 4 of us, obviously. And I hit a good drive on up even with that old big old cedar tree they used to have there. So just a little wedge on in. I'm thinking, man, get on the green 2-putt, I'll shoot 39. I was 4 over. I was sitting there and I got up over the ball and I said, now, come on, good swing, good, going through all your routines. About the time I draw back, Doc Gray goes like that. Well, I stuck the club in the ground. It went about 10 feet, and I was so mad I could shoot a nail in 2. And Doc said, now then, he said, if you're going to try to listen for noise, you can always hear something. He said, you got to learn how to concentrate. And it didn't make me much happier for a few minutes, but it resonated with me later on.
Dale Doc Gray was a respected leader in Edmonson County schools and the local community for many years. A Korean War veteran, chiropractor, teacher, counselor, and coach, he dedicated his life to the betterment of young people every day. He founded the Edmonson County High School Art Department as well as the golf and football teams. His artwork became notable all around Kentucky, with his most famous being the Cinderella Team painting of the 1976 State Championship trophy and memorabilia. He is credited for taking the most remembered photo of the 1976 championship team as they hoisted the trophy over their heads at Freedom Hall on Sunday, March 27, 1976. Doc and his lovely wife Sarah, married 70 years, were inspirations to the entire Edmonson County community and beyond.
I don't know how many times that played golf with Doc, ran into Doc, and we always were around strangers. He would come up to me, every time. And I guess he did it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
He'd say, ain't you the one? Aren't you the one that was
Yes, that's
He would do me the
was
same
on
way.
that? It was a good team over there.
yeah. Like he didn't remember.
When you the one? Yeah. Are you the one? Because he would be around to people that didn't know.
Yeah.
He would do that every time.
Yeah, that's
And I
what
said,
that-
no. I said, that was my brother. I tell you what he did. He said, no, I believe it was you. I believe it was you.
You know, he was a chiropractor, right?
Yeah.
When I was playing football at Western, I had free reign to stop by anytime I wanted to and get a free adjustment. They don't tell you how many times he worked.
well, he did that for us all that whole year.
Stuff. Coming from Western and come up there and he'd give me an adjustment to straighten up.
I never did have
I got the tickets for some of the games to come and watch.
Yeah,
He's adjusted my back, sir.
Phil and I were pallbearers at his funeral, and that was a big honor. Doc loved this basketball team.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? Y'all did it. He loved it. He told it everywhere he went to.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Let me ask you about another who wasn't a teacher, but he was your principal at the time.
Oh my.
Mr. Johnny Pete Vincent.
Top.
Don't know that I've ever heard him better. Nothing bad about Johnny Pete Vincent.
top.
What was, him being the principal here representing this school was, he did it in a very unique way, and a lot of attention that Edmonson County had prior to that was in a negative light. And What's your guys' thoughts on?
He was the most fair. He didn't care if it was an athlete or not. He treated you the same. And in particular, we'd get on the bus. We'd be off somewhere and it'd be late. And somebody would say, "Can we come in late for school tomorrow?" And he'd go, 8 o'clock. And, but that's when school started. So that's when you was coming in school. A gentleman, just in my book, this is no better.
Yeah, he's tops.
He had a rule that if you miss, like that week, school you didn't get to play in the game, football. And a friend of ours was getting in hay and wanted me to go help him haul hay. Me and another guy that played football with us. And it was going to rain. He had to get his hay in and stuff. And so I stayed home and went and helped him haul hay that day to get their hay in. I got back at school next day, or got back to practice. Got back to practice, and I thought, football. Coach said, "You're not going to get to play." I said, "What?" I said, You missed the day before the game. I think it was, he had some kind of rule. And I thought, what in the world's going on? And he finally come to talk to me, and he wound up, we had a big football game. I can't remember who it was against. And he finally wound up letting me play. So, he could have not but that was a game that we needed to win for the district.
See who got all the freebies.
If I hadn't said that, I'd have been devastated. But
Ruined it for everybody else.
Yeah, the rules for everybody else, not you. Don't worry about it, people.
Well, I mean, I can't remember why they had the rule, but that's exactly what happened. He went ahead and let.
Because they want people to be at school that played sports.
Mr. Vincent was great. All right. He was he loved athletics, and probably because he played, when he was in school, and having kids come up that were going to play, that made a big difference. But Mr. V, I mean, you can't. I mean, he was the number one cheerleader. He's right there behind you. Now, if you needed a little chewing out, Mr. V was there.
Johnny Pete Vincent is a 1959 graduate of Kyrock High School. While a student in the late 50s at Kyrock, Mr. Vincent was a gifted athlete and went on to be a local educator and administrator in Edmonson County Schools. He was a longtime principal at ECHS and Kyrock Elementary, constructively impacting the lives of thousands of students during his tenure. He served as principal of ECHS in 1976 before, during, and after the Wildcats championship run. His positive and professional representation of Edmonson County put the county in a much different light than the preconceived notions of a small rural community. A gifted Sunday school teacher and church leader, he has been a positive influence on hundreds of other individuals outside of school and still is today.
That's about as it's about as humbling as you can get to hear those remarks, and I appreciate them.
50 years later.
Yeah. More so now, probably. When you get old, you get sentimental, and anything like that you appreciate. But I appreciated those boys at the time. We had a good relationship, and no problem with them. And thing that sticks out in my mind about that team, Darren, is not just the starting five, but where would we have been without our subs? We wouldn't have won that state tournament. And I think just for them to be part of the team and to get in here and get in there was enough for them, and prove to me, Lord, did they ever prove to me that they needed to be in and out.
So we come down to the end of the regular season. We start the district tournament. And not very many state champions lose their district tournament. So that's a rarity within itself.
I think there's only been one other one, right?
I'm not sure on
I
that.
think it's one. I may be wrong, but I think it's one.
You know, I remember as a kid looking up at the banners in the high school and seeing the district tournaments. You see the great big one there, and you're like, well, how come, it's not over here? And obviously the champion and the runner-up advances to the region tournament. But let's talk about that championship game, the district championship game, where you guys fell to Glasgow. What happened there? Okay, what was that scenario?
James Buford.
James,
Yeah, situation where he couldn't miss.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
Aaron couldn't play.
Because Aaron could play guard too. He played guard and forward, and he's probably on the team.
It was one of those perfect storms. Where nobody played good. Aaron was sick and couldn't play. Well, I say everybody. I know that there were shots that normally fell that did not fall. Way ups, whatever. Me, I didn't play good at all. And we had one guy try to take Phil out, which was a mistake. Which was a mistake. But it was a perfect storm,
And it was a low scoring event.
Yeah.
He was going to the region, so I don't know. Then
I think we was all worried about that first game against Allen County Scottsville.
Because that was a battle.
That was we had to win that one. We knew if we'd done that, we were in. So.
And you won that pretty handily. That
Yeah.
was about a 15-point.
Yep, but we were behind at halftime.
Yes, we were.
We were behind.
Well, let's talk about that. Just
It's kind of funny because I've got a buddy and they used to live here. Dick Keffer was his name. He was the dentist here when I was a young kid, and he had two sons. Dickie, he played at Vanderbilt with Scottsville, and then Bobby, who played at Allen County when we played. And Bobby, every year, right before the state tournament at work, I'd get a call, and I'd answer, and he'd say, 1976, we had Edmonson County beat at halftime. So. But we were behind at halftime, and then I don't know. Was it the little ruckus occur after halftime? The guy that came in and we started making. We finally started playing a little bit better. I think everybody started shooting the ball better, and we weren't throwing it away. We kind of figured out what they were doing, and we started getting the lead. And they sent in a hatchet man to aggravate Phil.
was that when I got kicked out?
Yeah.
No, that was Glasgow.
They sent this big dude in.
No, it was Allen County.
Yeah, he didn't play much the first game. I don't know if he even played the first time we played him. But he was a big old boy, wasn't he? Yeah, but he
Petty, wasn't that his name?
Purdue. Yeah.
Purdue.
He's actually a football player there, and it just,
But we get down underneath Glasgow's. All their fans are sitting underneath the bucket. And I remember it so vividly. And this guy, I don't know what he says to Phil, but
who come after me?
Yes.
all I know is when I turned
remember.
around, Phil had him around the neck.
Yeah.
His feet
And
on
his
the
feet were
ground.
doing this, dangling, and he had his fist drawn back like that. And I grabbed him by the arm, and he holds this guy up, and he just throws me into the crowd. And by that time, they finally got everything settled down, and after that, we just kind of rolled all over them. So
Well, I also remember that guy coming off the floor, and he would look like a ghost, and he was crying. And he said, I was just going after the ball. Actually, he wasn't. He ran into a wall.
Look, he grabbed me right
Because
in the head.
I thought, well, that's funny because the ball went that way and he went that way.
They wasn't calling anything, and that's why he was in there for to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it worked. He got me and
he just fouled him up. Then we just started rolling on after that. So
I got kicked out, and I thought I was going to have to sit out the next game. Because back then,
Did you get kicked out, or didn't coach just take you out? That they were going
I'm
to threaten
thinking he got through it.
No, I
Both
got
of them
through
got
it.
They both got through
Did
it.
they?
We both got through out.
But back then, you just set out the amount of time that you had left, or
Yes.
it wasn't like a whole game suspension back then. Like, I don't know, I think it was probably in the third quarter, right in the middle. He had to set out that much time before he could
So
come
he
back
didn't
and play.
start the first game of the regional?
he did.
Yeah.
He did.
But,
You have to miss the game.
I was afraid I wasn't going to. They had to do something, talk to the commissioners and all that to get me where I could play.
Yeah, he played against big Steve Coley.
I was kind of didn't know if I was.
I held over Steve Coley at 12 that night.
Yeah, he was a leading scorer in the region.
Yep. Averaged about 26. I barely could walk. I face guarded him the whole night.
I said we were about the only 6 that played that year, so we still had, five of us to play when I got kicked out of the game, so it wasn't too bad. So
We were down trick because I wasn't there either.
yeah, I forgot about that.
That's right.
Wasn't either.
That was what you've done.
And so we have 4 other people made our district without them to. the first and the second leading scorer on the team.
How about that? Well, I think that's probably
They thought we were going to win.
that's a testament to the whole team, though. You got the leading scorers on the team. You know,
Well, anybody could have been a leading scorer. If you look at the games through the tournament and stuff, it's different ones all the time. Kevin could too, but he just never did take the initiative to score a bunch of points. He could go around anytime he wanted to for layups. I remember him coming around 100 times that year and me setting the screen my guy off. He'd come right inside there and make a layup. You remember that? He could get around him anytime he wanted to. We just didn't play like that.
Setting the screen. That guy said, screw it.
I mean, it was if you didn't have a shot, you couldn't create your own shot. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess he would. I don't remember him letting us do.
No, it all had to be through the offense,
Most of the time, yeah.
or unless it was a wide open layup. And if you had somebody in front of you that could score, you better pass them the ball.
Yeah.
Well, so let's say you better pass him the ball if he's in front of you and got a better shot, better angle.
I got to where we didn't even think about who scored points.
Yeah.
Matters it.
I remember one day, I forget where it was, but anyway, I had a wide open shot, went up, and Phil was watching me, and he was going to the boards, and I saw him out the bottom of my eye, headed to the basket, and there's nothing there. And I just shot it to him. And
Yeah.
Coach thought I did it on purpose. I was thinking,
Yeah, you was already up in the air.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So, but he
It's crazy how you remember that. Stuff.
Yeah, I know.
he wanted us to take the ball inside.
Yeah.
Mostly because he said, I remember saying, look, he's 6'5". You're 5'11". When y'all get tired, he's still going to be 6'5". He's a whole lot closer to the basket than you are.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have 3-point line back then.
Right,
So, I
right.
mean, there wasn't no need to shoot 30 foot.
No. The people played zone on us because they couldn't guard us. And when they did that, oh man, so these guys right there, you let them up.
Wow.